Welcome back to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. I'm Rich Walsh. If you need a roof, if you need anything, make sure you call Ireland Contracting, 1-800-NEW-ROOF. They're the best in the business, #1 in Pittsburgh. Not only do they do roofs, they do siding, they do gutters. Anything you need, I call them, Ron calls them, Gene calls them, Bob's calling them, everyone's calling them. You should too. Give us a call right now, 412-575-2600 is the number on the Bordis and Bordis hotline. I have a couple tweets here. I tweeted about the attendance. We were talking about the attendance. And, I have guys like T-Bro just sent me a tweet. I have better ways to spend my money. Brandon Ross just tweeted me, no way 10,000. I was there. Pick your seat. Maybe there wasn't 10,000. But
well, that's a ticket sold.
That's a ticket sold.
People in the building. I don't. Even if it was 10,600 and people were every seat, that's not very good. At this time of the year, school's out. Nice night. Not very good.
House of Martial Arts tweeted you and said, Ron nailed it right on the money. I couldn't agree more, Ron. All right,
about
let's go.
Golfers?
Probably. That's what I'm guessing. Yeah, I disagree, but I'm anxious to read that. All right, let's
now, did you want to beat Mickelson up for what he did?
No, I loved it. I thought it was hilarious.
Well, then
I thought it was tremendous.
Then you agree with what I said about that.
I will agree with that.
But how about these sanctimonious people who say it's a disgrace to the game?
Yeah, I totally disagree. I mean, Joe Buck, you talked about Andy North. All these guys are saying
damaged kids watching
yeah,
the game.
That's ridiculous. I mean, you're supposed to make the sport fun. You want to try to grow the game.
He did a human thing. He did a human thing. He's mad. He's frustrated.
Yes.
He just said, the heck with it. And he knew, it's a two-shot penalty. He paid a price. Let it go.
Yeah, and he finished the hole, so you can't disqualify the guy. But let's go out to Clint in Altoona. He wants to talk about the Buccos. What's up, Clint?
Hey, how you guys doing? Thanks for taking my call.
No problem.
Yeah, Rich, I listened to your show last night. I think you're 100% on the money about everything you talked about. Comments on the Pirates, I think the year they won 98 games and were flirting with winning the division, there was talk that I think that year David Price was one of the most sought-after free agents, and all the pundits on ESPN, even Tim Kirchin, said, hey, I think the Pirates are the front runners. They're going to go all in. They're going to, try to get this Division One instead of messing around again with a one-game take-all wild card and everything. They didn't bother doing that. And then the following year, they went out and, boy, they made a great move signing John Neese. And, if those 2 years there, if they weren't going to do anything, they're not going to do anything too much this year. And I just expect to be the rest of the year like they are. Pitchers will be good, some days, and it'll be lousy the other times. But before I hang up, your comments about the Pirates, but I also wanted to get your opinion on what you thought about the sudden resignation of Barry Trotz to the Capitals.
Get to Barry Trotz in a second. And, Ron, I wanted to point out, and the caller brought up a good point here, I don't mind them playing young guys and trying to work through things. Just come out and say it. Do what the Rangers did. Do what the Brewers did. Come out and just say, this is what we're doing. We're rebuilding. Stick with us. Trust us. Trust the process.
But they've lost that trust.
Yeah.
That is a problem. People don't trust them. They've said in the past, I guess Huntington said yesterday, more people come out will give us more money to spend. Well, Frank Coonley said that a couple years ago, and I think a lot of people don't feel like they followed through on that promise when they had, $2.4 million come out? And, boy, it's going to be way down again this year, it looks like. And I don't know what the solution is. I do know the solution is winning, but you have to have good players to win, and I don't know that they have enough.
Coonley said something similar to that in spring training this year, too. And you know what? How can you support them as a fan? I'm looking at this as a fan if they just pocketed $20 million from two of their players that
they're
they
the
traded
only
away.
Team that didn't sign one major league free agent. Not one. I mean, I'm not saying they have to go out and sign a Bryce Harper or a Mike Trout, but they didn't sign anybody to help, and it's a young pitching staff all the way from the starters into the bullpen. Not so much young in age, but young in experience, and those guys aren't going to be good every night, and we've seen that.
Yeah, and I hate to keep harping on this, but the fourth lowest payroll, $50 million under league average. They got to be closer to league average if you want fans to show up. And if I'm nutting, I say go out and try to win. Go out and spend what you have to at the trade deadline. Get some guys back in here. We got to win these fans back, but who knows if they'll do that. And he brought up Barry Trotz. I was surprised.
No, I'm not.
You're not surprised?
No, because he was a lame duck all year. He had no contract beyond this year. There was talk that they wanted to replace him with Todd Reardon, who's coaches on his staff that was with the Penguins. He wins it all. Now he's in position. I guess he had a clause in his contract that he would get a 2-year extension with a minimal raise, but not nearly what the top coaches are getting. So he did his job there. He took a lot of heat when they failed the last 2 years as President's Trophy. He'll get another job real soon.
Yeah, but you think a guy that wins a Stanley Cup, the Capitals would try to do anything to keep him around, and they didn't do that.
Nope.
And that's why I was surprised. Even when I was in Washington covering the Penguins, you were there too, right? And remember some of the questions he was getting the one time after the game, talking about his future. And he said, I don't want to talk about that now. But so
now he's a Stanley Cup champion on the open market. That's a pretty good place to be.
And I guess he made the right decision resigning because he's going to get a ton of money from the next team. All right, we're going to take a break. Back with more of your phone calls. We got a couple guys online. We have one line open, so give us a call. 412-575-2600 is the number. And before we go to break here, we're going to talk about the sizzling shot. It is time to tee it up with Ruth's Chris Sizzling Shot, celebrating some of the local golfers who got a hole-in-one. And this night, Adam Kupak from Edgewood Country Club, hole number 14, 7-iron from 130 yards. It's a little uphill, short hole. Congratulations to Adam Kupak at Edgewood Country Club. That's a high five from Ruth's Chris Steakhouse at 6 PPG Place downtown, home of the sizzling steak. Man, I want a steak run right now. I want to go to Ruth's
could go
Chris.
for one, too.
Maybe if we get a hole-in-one. All right, we're going to take a break. Back to take more phone calls coming up next. Stay right there.